figured something themed like it. But if nobody wants to watch that, then we can play Minesweeper or something. I don't know.
No, go for it.
Okay, hold on. This is my browser.
This is your browser. That is what you're screen sharing.
Yeah, hold on.
Yeah, you need sleep. It is almost 4:30 in the morning for you.
Dude.
I'm glad you stayed up. I appreciate it.
Oh yeah, he is the one who wanted you to play this, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for streaming it so I could have seen it and got to play it because that really fun game.
Right
9 a.m.
tomorrow. Oh
alarm.
my goodness.
And I will take full blame. Tell your teacher it was this cheating streamer always plays with too much HUD. His fault. I'll take full blame. Unfortunate. They need a official mod to turn off all the HUD. The cheap. I said cheating. I don't need to add cheap. Giving myself some credit. I may use strong weapons, but I'm not always cheap.
I have to install dependencies every time I open this game.
Sometimes you don't need to actually. You don't need to update the mods if they have updates. Unless
I
it's like a
but it's like
specific.
it's like when you're in like a shooter game or any game where you have a locker or a character thing or like Rocket League and there's a little exclamation point or a one next to the thing in the menu.
Yeah.
And it's like the same thing. It's like I have to download Viv Helper from gamebanana.com for the
Mm-hmm.
Clesto extension. I don't even know what that is, but I need it because there's a thing. You reinstall Celeste. Let's go. We're in the game.
That's
We
that's
should
two.
do
That's two people we've
we should
gotten.
do if these people are like, and I'm telling you, we Meta and I, even we could do even Spring Collab, can find levels of any difficulty. I think if people are willing to, it'd be really cool to do a big stream with a whole bunch of people,
Get everyone in the
just playing,
same.
yeah, just playing along with us. I think that'd be really cool
That would be fun.
because somebody did come in a long time ago and was like, "Hey, can I just join you guys?" We were like, "At the end, you can mess around with us, because that wasn't the point of the stream." But
Yeah.
um,
That we would find levels on the easier end.
how do I? It's forcing me to do this.
The
So
hardest
give me
part
a
would
second.
definitely be time zones.
My Discord is doing the thing where it doesn't want to open.
Doesn't want to open.
So yeah, it was doing it earlier, but it was fine since we were already in the call. But sometimes I'll click on the icon, like I close Discord while I'm doing this, so I have your stream up, and then it's like, oh, hello, I'm not going to open it anymore, so I have to end task real quick.
One exam and one paper due Monday. One on Wednesday, one on. Oh no. It sounds like you're always doing exams. I swear, a month ago, when I played this for part one, you were also being like, you always choose to do this when I need to study.
Okay, it like wasn't working for a second. I got mildly concerned, but now we're here.
Welcome back. Vaguely remember having exams. I remember. I was just explaining this to my mom the other day about how for the AP classes, which are for like college credit, but you have to take a test at the end of the year to actually get the credit. And there were so many
Oh,
kids.
spoilers!
Whoa,
You
yeah,
didn't
I,
see that.
I didn't see
You
it.
did...
There were so many kids in a couple of the classes that, uh, depending on grade, some of the teachers would just give you a passing grade on the final exam if you decided to take the test for college credit. And it was like $70 to take the test. And everyone's like, well, it's better than failing the class. Let's do it.
Wait, I have to restart the screen share again.
No, you're good. I can see Celeste.
No.
Oh. Oh, do you need to toggle something off?
I need to toggle Cyrano back on. I'm just
Mm.
going to close the game.
Shouldn't be taking lectures anymore. The American education system is very heavily weighed on how well can you remember. Because a lot of it was I kind of cheated my way through high school, as in like I would remember the info, pass the test, and then forget the info to remember the next set of info because they crammed it all in.
I think everybody did that.
Yeah. Like they don't really give you much time to remember the info unless you're spending your whole outside of school time doing that. Okay, it is like that everywhere. Yes, I can see.
Alright.
Oh, the structure and hierarchy. Yeah, it was... They had certain classes that they were introducing through like the AP program, which was advanced placement. So if you were far enough ahead in your studies going into high school being grade 9 through 12, then you would be placed in advanced placement, which basically is a college level course in high school.
It's Cyrano, yeah. Oops. That's a spike.
All you know about the AP program is the song. There's a song? I would imagine it would Booster in Orbit be like all the way up?
That's what I'm thinking, but I just went up there. So that means there's somewhere else it's at. That's probably all the way up over here. But
yeah, the other all the way up.
Yeah, I gotta figure out how to go up there first. Okay, here we go.
The worst thing about this skin is just not being able to tell when you do and don't have a dash.
Yeah,
by looking.
Fine, trust me. It's perfect for a Silverberry. That's that extra challenge I clearly need. That's the climb. This is the dark core. Dude, I don't freaking know, man. Oh, you know what? I think I know where it's at.
I have never seen this song before. I'll have to listen to that after stream.
Alright, everyone. Hope you're excited. Thank you, Bird. Alright, so we're gonna play it first, because I'm actually gonna go for the berry and not meme.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, I
Nice.
just want to refresh myself on the mechanic.
How close are you to, because you're getting pretty close to the end, right, Yuhua? If you're already having to, get stuff ready for thesis.
Did you have to make one of those, Mona?
I had a capstone project, so we had, like, 6 months working on the same project to build a full game. So I guess that would be our thesis, but I never had to do like a thesis paper.
Yeah, that's more what I was asking. Because of course I've got like big final projects, but.
Starting thesis in February. Okay. Good. Get the rest. That'll be helpful.
Yo? Does this do anything? No, I can't go anywhere from here. I was curious if like...
Must be a return screen for a strawberry.
I just need the key, and then I come back down here with the key and go that way.
Oh, that's right. Thesis paper over 100 pages. Counselor expects you to write minimum of 60. Man. I'm glad I didn't have one. I mean, if you find a topic that you really enjoy, I'd imagine it's not too hard. But I feel like even with a thesis, there's probably still quite a bit of filler in the paper.
Oh, yeah.
Thesis is basically all filler. And around 20 pages of actual thesis. Okay.
That's hard.
Now your degree is it English literature? Was it? Appendix on spline interpolation on spherical surfaces. Man, that sounds interesting to me. That's still crazy though. American Lit. Okay, I was close.
Having a stroke. Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of filler, just because I was ready for Blizzard to say something. I'm not a fan of filler with like writing.
Now, as much as I thought about that, I like writing, so in context, I was actually listening to the conversation with sincerity.
Yeah, I was like expecting you to say something about me watching anime or something, and just like always watching filler.
No, I think skipping filler is kind of weird to me, because I don't think anything is truly filler.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of anime, I don't know if I'll get to it this year. I don't know. I'd like to, but it'll depend on if I get my new job and then what my schedule looks like with that.
Oh, I know what we're talking about.
I want that $5. I'm telling you, that $5 is as good as mine.
$5. This is a hefty.
It's a big bet.
Nope.
Wanna get rich? You giving me a pyramid scheme? What are we looking at?
Are you gonna go eat?
I'm eating right now.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought I was gonna have to like solo entertain.
Chat was too active. I didn't want to just like stop talking.
Hey, I respect that. I just didn't think you would do that.
visit you and we'll live like kings for a week. I would love nothing more than to visit you. We'd have a lot of fun. But that's one thing I would love to visit. Just some of my international friends, and I guess other friends in the States.
Is that a visual glitch?
Which part?
Watch when I updash here. Okay, didn't do it that time.
I'd say yes then.
There, did you see that?
Oh! Yeah, it looked like you were still in a bubble. That's weird.
I don't know if that's a skin thing or...
I think it'd be a bug specific to this level.
Yo. It might be a combination of both. All right, one more run, and I think I'm gonna go for Odin.
Polish friend visited you in the summer. That's cool. Probably, you were probably quite busy. I'm guessing that's what the bad timing was. Just a lot school stuff.
Bro.
I didn't factor that in. That probably makes it harder too. I'm glad it's always nice to have something planned ahead. Because I remember I had money like saved away specifically for when Blizzard had planned his trip over. Because I was like, I want to make sure I have plenty of money for whatever we plan to do.
Yeah, planning ahead of time makes the fun stuff so much less stressful.
Mm-hmm.
We all had money set aside so that we could go fun places that cost like a lot of money and stuff like that because we wanted to do that. I wouldn't even say anywhere we went costed a lot of money, but still, my point stands.
Mm-hmm. Had to pay everything, but didn't hurt them at all. See, that's also a good thing to know. You know, if a friend does have a bit more money, you know, I would kind of expect them to be willing to pay if they needed to. But then again, I would also just like depending on a situation, I'd probably like feel bad having a friend pay for me. But I usually try and make
Dude,
it
I'm gonna
work
die
out.
like that.
What, dashing right into that?
Yeah.
Or money is 18 times the is it the lira? I think. I'm not too great at remembering which currency. It is the lira? Okay. And I guess I would be rich. Yeah, those... Oh my gosh, game prices in your country are crazy. Nice first try.
Your money is 18 times? Are you in Venezuela? Not yet.
Game prices are your old rent. That is absurd. Yeah, yeah, he was halfway across the world with the guess. Even with like sales and stuff, some of the prices stay crazy. And Steam won't let us gift games.
Oh, really?
Yeah, depending on if the price difference is too much based on the currency, Steam just won't let you gift a game to somebody.
That's stupid.
And I don't even know if you can, sometimes even if you get like the Steam key, I don't know if it lets them use it, but I can't recall.
Dang it.
Can I? Oh, you can't gift me. Okay. Because I remember we couldn't gift games to Ryunosuke in Brazil. You can activate global keys. Okay. I'm taking notes.
What? Dang it, dude, I literally was gonna be on the last screen after that. Ah. I totally could have had it then. I was actually a little bit nervous. You gifted him East Origins, but not me?
I gifted you East 1.
Yeah, yeah, and you gift him the good games.
Oh, is Raccoon? No, I've gifted Raccoon something before.
I had to sit here and suffer playing East 1 on 144 hertz. East 1 owns, bro.
Games in Brazil are classified as gambling and are taxed differently. Oh, okay. That makes
Dude,
sense.
Genshin Impact in Brazil goes insane.
There's quite a few games that just aren't allowed in certain countries because of gambling purposes. Like games with loot boxes just like either don't exist or have loot box-less versions. How do you not like East Origin? It's so fun. But I'm glad you enjoy 1 and 2. They put out some new news of East 10, or it's going to be called East Nordics. And they're getting rid of the party system. I'm happy. You know who's happier than me is Ludology. He's going to be happy because he did not like the party system. It just felt we both liked the like solo character because the party system just felt like you got an extra life. Felgana is better. I do like Felgana. I've got to go back and finish it. Tuesday? I can't stream on... You better stream on Tuesday then.
Did anyone see that?
I missed it. What happened? What happened?
That was probably the dumbest thing I've ever done in my life.
What did you do?
I'm glad you saw the stupidest thing I possibly have ever done with Draw.
I'm clipping. Hope I want to see.
Dude, I took my hand off this other side of the keyboard. Wasn't thinking.
What? Wow. Okay, that's it's mad unfortunate.
Oh man.
Yeah, Tuesday is your birthday.
This one is like so hard for me for some reason.
So you're gonna stream and not study. Wednesday is Zach Ailes. That's a name. He hasn't streamed in a while. Though I think he's been with a new job, so that could be it.
Come on. Let me know when you're like ready. By the way, I don't need to do this.
No, I've still got 3 more pancakes.
Are you eating? All right, you know what? Not even gonna. I am not touching this. Like, I'm holding right so hard.
No. Go to sleep. Please get some sleep.
Go to sleep, bro. And thanks for being here for his Metal Hell Singer, and I think you stopped by our Celeste. I appreciate that too.
Postpone the alarm to 11. Yo, I really appreciate you hanging around. And hopefully all the paper writing and studying for exams goes well. Hoping for a smooth next week for you. Not a study YouTuber. I'm horrible at waking up, and I'm so much more focused at night doing work like that. Yeah, just start the thesis in the middle. Maybe call back to the start. Gotta turn Twitch notifications off at night so you don't see. I guess I DM'd you too.
I'm so dumb. I gotta go faster. It doesn't work going slow. It doesn't. My brain doesn't do it.
I do always seem to choose the worst times to start up games that you're interested in. I mean, how was I supposed to know? I thought exams were last month. Blizzard.
What?
What was that?
Dude, I thought I was in the blue bubble. You can't, that was bad.
Dying in places you were not dying in on the casual.
I'm pretty sure I did die there. Maybe not. Listen, it's bound to happen. A perfect run always has its flaws. Even in place you've never died before. I know you've heard that one before.
Especially places you haven't died before.
Exactly.
Not you, Ho-Ha.
No.
Ah, yes, the infinite Madeline theorem. A Madeline that has died at every spinner, all existing at the same time.
Infinite Cyrano theorem. And it went so fast! Now I'm mind blocked on that part.
Were you dashing through the green ones?
No.
Okay.
You basically can't in this map. It's like, I mean, I guess you can, but it's like, doesn't really work.
Mm-hmm. I just couldn't tell it looked faster than I thought it'd be.
Really? Didn't think I would die there. I'm impressed at how fast I went through the first green one. Man, that part's actually kind of insanely hard now that I think about it. Because you never know when you're in the blue one. You can't, like, wait, because then you're gonna be too late. True.
I'm surprised you can't just mash dash out of it.
Well, I don't want to do it too early, or else what happened the first time will happen where I went out of the green.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
That's why I'm not mashing dash. Yo, go to bed!
That's dangerous, but yes, go to bed.
Go to bed more.
Close the eyes.
Actually, wait, I'm gonna get it here, so you can watch now. You're allowed.
Gonna wake at 5
Dude,
p.m.
I'm
with a
mind
massive
blocked
headache.
from the green to blues. Like, my mind can't do it anymore. It's like, I'm clicking all of them too early. Okay. Not the specific map. I think the game might have some stuff for that, but... I don't know about this specific map having custom mechanics for... I was not holding up, but okay.
I do believe that the game does have colorblind options. Vanilla, they were very good about getting accessibility stuff.
Accessibility,
Yeah. That said, I don't really know what kind of stuff they had for it, since I didn't use them. My body will just let me sleep as long as I want.
I told you.
Once I saw the
It's just such a tough
screen.
gap. It's like I'm not even like that disappointed because it's very difficult. Like, heard the controller being released. What controller?
Oh, sorry, that was me. My hand came up and it hit my laptop when it happened.
To say I don't play on controller. I have noise suppression on, so I don't think you would be able to hear my keyboard unless I turned it off. If anyone wants to hear my keyboard, by all means, I can turn it on. But probably not what you want to hear.
So I don't see any specific... There's a photosensitivity option, but I don't see any specific colorblind mode or options. Checking to see if any of the mods we have installed have that. One of the ones I have is sort of like a sensitivity helper, so it can turn off certain effects that the game uses. The glitching, different flash effects, freeze, shake, rumble, lightning.
Okay, I pressed.
Yeah, a lot of the base game colors are blues and reds. Usually kind of like a blue and a pink. I think
I
those
read
are
a rant
usually...
about how unaccessible Celeste is now. What? That's crazy.
Really?
This is one of the most accessible games I've ever played.
Yeah.
Like, seriously, if you want to just fly through every level, you can.
Yeah. That definitely surprises me that someone would rant about that.
They made a demo dash keybind because they can. Then, now granted, you don't know what that is, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I think Celeste was definitely like, I think one of the major games that kind of separated like accessibility settings as well as it did. I know a lot of games.
Why?
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, man.
By now,
what do you mean now?
So
That's
like
weird. Is it less? Was this article saying that it was more accessible before when it had less options? Oh, okay.
Okay. Yeah, I know since Celeste, there's been quite a few games that have started being better about adding accessibility options and actually like making useful options through them.
I will say there's not a lot because this game's design is good. Now I'm not saying, you know, a colorblind mode shouldn't be added, but I will say I don't think, except for red and green bubbles, that there's anything that has the same texture that's a different color.
Yeah.
Obviously, I can't say that, like, I can't say, like, a colorblind person's not going to have issues because I'm not colorblind, and there's could be a certain section of the game that specifically is really bad with, like, red-green color blindness or whatever, you know, certain ones are. So, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen... I actually... I'd imagine he has a video. Steven Spawn, if anyone knows him. He's basically a guy who really likes playing games, but he is legally blind. His vision is mostly, like, the way he explained it is, imagine what you see, but, like, shrunken down, and then super blurry, and that's what he sees. And so he does a lot of accessibility reviews on games and how good the options are.
I was holding down right. That was the game's fault. Seriously. I was holding all the way down right, and I looked at my fingers the moment I died, and I was correctly holding down right. So that was not my fault, unfortunately. I don't really know what to say about that. Other than that's really unfortunate, because I feel like I should have had it right there. So, sorry I suck, I guess. I don't know. I was holding the correct thing, and I looked, and I was correctly holding it. I had not let up.
So, the first thing with this article is it was written a few days after the game's release.
It's the 144 hertz monitor eating the inputs. True. I do think I have VSync off, luckily, so I know that's, on a serious note, not taking out my inputs. Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, VSync adds about 20 milliseconds of input delay on average. Do not use it. Unless the game is completely unplayable without it. Dude, this is the hardest part of the screen. I'm genuinely letting go of my keyboard and my character still floats right. Why? Because it's Cyrano. That has to be it. She's flying. I think we should all have Cyrano write Yuhoha's thesis. As we all know, Cyrano, famous for being one of the smartest characters in Toho.
Okay, so going off of this article, because it was created a few days after the release of the game, apparently there was no way to turn off screen shake.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, so there was that.
Granted, that I don't think I would be not playing the game for that reason, though.
Yeah, no, I mean,
think I'd still play Celeste, but that's fair.
I played through it quite a while until I turned screen shake off, because I was dying to it mostly in speedruns. No colorblind mode, so that still doesn't exist as far as I know. Are you deaf? Making the rhythm-based platforming sections and finding strawberries which make bell ringing noises when they're in the room much more difficult? Okay, first off, I've never found a strawberry based off its sound.
Okay, I have.
That to me, I did not know, but...
Rhythm gamer here. I will say, the rhythm sections you can do without the music, to be honest.
Yeah, the music definitely helps.
No, yeah, no, for sure, it helps, but I could definitely do it with the music turned off.
Yeah. Like
especially with my this is a bit biased, but especially with how easy the base games rhythm game sections are.
I would agree, and it's not a thing of like there's still the visual rhythm. Like you see when the blocks change, and you can just like count it. You can count on in your head.
Could have written this appendix on spline interpolation easy, true.
Not to say they're wrong. Like obviously, you know, some people could struggle with that. But I think there's alternatives to needing the music for that.
Why? You're telling me the spring hitbox is huge when I'm 5 minutes into the depth C side, but when I'm trying to touch it, it doesn't do anything at all when I'm literally on top of it. Why?
Yeah, the sections to get the tapes are the rhythm-based ones. They did put an asterisk near the screen shake mentioning that when this was written, that was true, but it was added.
So what is their suggestion for the rhythm sections?
They don't give suggestions, at least not so far that I've gotten. And then complete lack of content warnings. Which I assume is to tackle like the
anxiety.
Yeah, I think that would be so like the tram ride, and really anything where battling is kind of like peeking through, I guess.
I think 95% of video games have themes that are, if you want to consider this needing a content warning, that I think other games would need a content warning and they don't.
Well, a big point with the article is the guy is like, he pretty much, John Silver, pretty much says, where'd they mention it? Celeste suffers from the same inaccessibility problem most other games have. I'd say every game in existence has the issue of being inaccessible.
Oh, okay. Well, then they just have a weird opinion.
Yeah, so as this was written February of 2018, there are no accessible games.
That's right, guys. You heard it here first. Super Mario Sunshine is inaccessible.
If you have paranoia or DID, the scenes with battling could hit hard. Yeah, I could definitely see those hitting hard. I can't say for sure if there's really no content warnings in any of the advertising or stuff. In game, there's not. So I can't really argue against that one. Where's the warning for people with epilepsy? Okay. Mood disorders, okay. Chapters 4 and 5 beg for them. Oh, with the emotional scenes, loud noises, screen shaking. Screen shaking, obviously, not a factor anymore. Flashing effects, there is a photosensitivity option. Nicely done.
We did it! Let's go! My favorite map, Silverberry. Let's go. I had a heart attack at the end. I'm not gonna lie. When I pressed down to go into the heart, and then I was on the left side of it, and then I almost fell. I was very scared. Yeah. Let's go though. Cyrano has collected.
So here's the thing. They're going over like what to change. They're talking about colorblind options don't take much effort. Screen shake having an option for that doesn't require much effort. Adding visual cues for key sound effects does not require tons of effort. The rhythm rooms have visual cues. It is literally the entire room is the visual cue.
Yeah, really. I can't really.
Here's
they want to have like a drum.
Here's a few simple suggestions to make Celeste more friendly to disabled people. Add a 2-button mode to assist. Climb and jump and dash buttons can be simplified to 2, make climbing automatic. But you don't always want to climb. Or make dashing possible by pressing the jump button twice in air. That seems harder to me. Make Madeline's hair color stick out more to people with certain types of color blindness. I can understand that. Visual indicators besides colors to the rhythm-based platforming sections, such as numbers, patterns, and so on to differentiate. The platforms
The
are a
platform, yeah,
solid
like
color when they're whole, and they are diagonally not polka
invisible.
dot striped.
Yeah.
They're diagonally striped when they're not solid. That is a thing. I don't I don't know. I don't have the VOD of me playing it in like week 1, so I don't know if that was always the case. Make the blocks and rhythm sections change color 1 beat before they switch. That would that would be a much better suggestion. I think their other problem is that it's just the color, and then they go pretty much just loop that back into the colorblind. But that would also mean you'd be colorblind and deaf, which those people exist. But I think there's still ways that the game already uses that make it playable in that situation.
Yeah.
Chapter 1 Crystal Heart Puzzle. Change each bird to a different type of bird animal to make the screen show which one, so that colorblind people can actually solve the puzzle. Changing the bird wouldn't do anything, because to know the pattern is to know the colors on the screen, which unfortunately would be a problem for colorblind people. I don't see. They would have to change the colors to also be patterned, and then pattern the birds, I think. Because as it is now,
Oh, I should clip this.
the birds are the solid colors, and the colors show up on the monitor near them to show you which order to do them in. So if you're colorblind, the birds being different bird types won't matter unless the monitor was changed. Visual cue to the bell ring that happens when a strawberry is nearby. Um,
Once again, I think this isn't needed. And honestly, unless I guess if it's an optional thing, like if it's a thing that's default off but you can turn on in the settings, I think that's fine.
yeah, the other
But
thing they say is adding an icon that displays when a strawberry is in the room, and I can understand. I think a lot of people would like a feature like that. Uh,
that takes a little bit of
but
exploration away, though, in my
I
opinion.
know.
I think that
Well,
actually takes away from the
well,
exploration.
and this is, it's one of those options where it's like this is definitely not an option for everybody. Um, Now whether you put that behind assist mode or not, I can't really say one way or another. Um, but like I can definitely see an audience for that. If you change the lightness of the color, you can probably still see it while colorblind. That's fair. Yeah. Uh, Add a visual indicator for the rhythm in the rhythm-based rooms, such as a metronome and a part of the screen that's easily visible. I think that was already covered. Adding an easily accessible controls menu showing all the controls and in-game techniques in one place, such as how to jump up walls, how to do a dash jump, and so on. You don't need dash jumps. They're not a required thing. So I don't like I think the controls menu covers everything you could possibly need for the core game. And then if something else is introduced that's needed, or if something else is needed, the game does introduce it to you right at the moment you need it. And sometimes that's a tough part with controls, is when a game, sometimes when you look at the controls for a game before you even play the game, and you're trying to remember all these things, like this is going to be do this is going to be this is grapple, you're not going to need any of those. Like the game will introduce those when you need them, and then you'll remember because you just clicked that button to do the action. Where if I'm looking and like unless the controls are similar to something like shooters are gonna be similar, so you may want to know like, okay, what button is grenade in this game, something like that. I think you end up confusing yourself trying to remember a bunch of actions that aren't going to be necessary yet. Yeah, and that's the other thing. They have like three different screens when you choose the assist mode, just being like, "Hey, this is what the assist mode is for," and kind of explaining it. Um, and they actually changed the text. The speedrunner half coordinated had mentioned back in the original build, like, hey, it still kind of seems like it's talking down to people using assist mode, and he had written what he thinks it would be better as. And they actually did update it to that text. Half coordinated, I believe, is he works in accessibility now with Ubisoft, if I remember correctly, while still doing speedruns with one hand.
I'm gonna move Watertown down to a high 7. I'm looking at that.
Dangerous side effect of. Oh, yeah, that's what I was commenting on. If you're hard of hearing, check the settings and it says display the visual indicator instead of the chime. You'll probably pick that. Yeah. Yeah, there's certain things, and that's why it's tough if you choose to like lump things together versus like how some settings you don't see what the different settings in assist mode are until you've activated assist mode. Um, but I think most of like the accessibility options are outside of assist mode, which is, probably better. For the controls thing, I think it'd be better to not have the game show you the more mechanic heavy side of the controls because they're not needed until the game specifically tells you they're needed. So you're not trying to be like, oh, this is a mechanic, the dash jump, and you never need the dash jump in base game. I don't even think B side. I think
No, I
B
don't think
side
so.
core maybe introduces it. Either B or C
No,
side core.
no. Seaside Core introduces wave dashing, but that's it. You
Not
don't do
wave
the
dash,
dashing.
but hypers.
Okay, yeah.
Um, so it's something where it's like you'll be searching for ways to use it, and then depending on your skill level, you may just be dying in ways you're like, why does this exist? When it's just like, well, you don't need it. That would be a neat way of doing it. I'm not sure
It's
for this
just
game. Oh, sorry,
it's
go on.
amazing that we are talking about these things, which I'm not saying they're not good for video games, but like well beyond the calling of most AAA games would ever even think about doing this. Most
Mm-hmm.
AAA games were just begging that the online works properly. Cough cough. But
Nintendo's in a whole different field with this, to be fair. I know there's a lot of like
yeah,
I know Sony's AAA games have been pretty good recently uh with accessibility settings. When we
okay.
played Forza Horizon 5, oh my gosh, the amount of settings they have there was incredible.
That's true. We're mostly talking about settings for disabled people at the moment, but difficulty settings, yeah. Unless
No,
you're
like
talking about
no,
that,
like
which
they had
I
a
didn't
ton
notice.
of accessibility settings in
Okay, well that's
Forza.
nice. But even then, like, it's just indie games are so good. The fact that we can talk about stuff like this, which is like definitely we're talking about a very niche group of people here, or a very like small group of people. I shouldn't say niche, a small group of people, which it should be accounted for.
Mm-hmm.
And we know that people like the Celeste devs would be willing to do something like this.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, when we're talking a conversation about a lot of AAA games, this doesn't even enter the conversation because there's so many other problems we have to address first. Which it's just so nice that we could like that can be a conversation topic for indie games because they care more.
Yeah. Welcome back, Klados. Hope your
Yeah, what's going
sleep
on,
went well.
Cletus?
We're talking about accessibility. Yuhoha had mentioned there was an article he found about Celeste being inaccessible. Uh, Turns out the article was released a few days after the game released, so it brings up some points, and we're kind of going over if the points completely make sense. Add a way to replay cutscenes in a gallery so people who didn't get everything the first time can go watch them again without having to replay the level. I can understand that. I usually do like having cutscenes replayable somehow. I know Metal Hellsinger had that option when I was looking through the menus. Doom adding a mode basically changes the colors to simulate color blindness instead of correcting it. Interesting. I mean, that's definitely a way to do it. I mean, if you simulate color blindness, then the devs can fully see, like, all right, these are the parts that aren't going to be visible. Um, I know, like, Overwatch is a great example of having super in-depth color blindness options. You can change the
Yeah.
colors of everything. I think Rocket League is the same. You can. There's even
I'm
some
not
people.
sure. I
There's
don't
a pro
know
player
because I
that
don't
plays.
check.
I think there's a pro player, maybe that's Overwatch, who plays with colorblind mode on. I'm pretty
Um,
sure Rocket League you can set all the team colors.
yeah, probably. Yeah. Um, which is yeah. I was gonna say I don't really know that much because I'm not checking for colorblind options because I'm not colorblind, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Um, unless they make minimal changes, in which case I might do it just for the aesthetic of it. Like I I don't know, like, dude, it's just like a cult following to once you've played League for more than 20 hours, like you're on colorblind mode forever. Like you just do. Or at least that's what like me and all of my friends are on colorblind mode. So it makes your health bar yellow instead of green because when your health bar is green and the enemy health bar is red, a lot of people can't discern from that, so it makes your health bar yellow.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't. It just it's because it's not the default that everybody likes it. But it's like a lot of like stuff other than that doesn't really change, which could be a little bit annoying for some people with like the ground being a lot of the time green. It could be like well slightly more yellow tinted in colorblind mode. That would
Yeah.
help. Um, or just change the enemy color health bars. That would probably be easier than changing the ground off of green. But
Mm-hmm.
anyways,
Uh, One of the last points that's mentioned here, as more dream accessibility suggestions that would require more than a significant amount of effort and or ruin the experience, and so I don't really expect these to be added. Add a way for players to experience all cutscenes levels without having to play the actual game at all, basically in autopilot mode, which does exist, and did exist on release.
really,
And they
you can just
have a
watch all the
picture
cutscenes.
of assist mode in the article. So they knew assist mode existed. Did they go through the settings to see what assist mode lets you do? As in, basically turning off gravity. You can slow moving objects down to, I think, 20%. I don't know if you can fully stop them. And then you can do infinite dashes.
Which is literally like if you have infinite dashes, you don't need anything else.
Yeah, and I think no gravity also pretty much puts you in a swimming state where you can just move around. Maybe you can't move up freely, but you can dash up and then move around. Presses anybody button to start. Presses power button. PC shuts down. This is inaccessible.
True.
Yeah. So there's some. I mean, there's some good points in the article that still aren't a part of it. One of the things they mentioned were like flashing or like screen glitch effects, which in one of the mods does have the ability to turn off, but the base game does not, unless photosensitivity mode turns those off. In which case,
I thought that's exactly what it was for, but
that probably does. In which case, that was in one of the pictures in the article, and that point is not needed.
anyways,
Yeah, back to the.
are you finished eating? Because we could kind of start cooking here. We got.
I am finished. Yeah, I left one chocolate chip pancake for a snack, but I'm good to go. We've got 4 more expert maps left. The first of which, what did we? Actually, I'll just be able to look at the video and be able to tell which one we left off at. What timestamp? 2:53:43. All right. Oh boy, we are at Trenches of Jellies. Personal opinion, that's a weird intersection between accessibility and art direction. Yeah, I feel like that's usually what like motion blur also tends to fall under. However, because it's like every game starts with motion blur on. I think
based.
pretty much everybody, most people turn motion blur off as soon as they can.
Losers.
And it's definitely some like there's definitely an argument for like this is the artistic direction because that's just how they wanted it, but
I don't know. At the same time, you could counter that argument with being like the artistic direction is to not have it on, but nobody complains when there's no motion blur to begin with. So it's like, I don't know. To me, it's fine being optional. I don't even really see that. I guess it's an artistic direction thing, but like,
well,
as somebody who likes motion blur, I'd fully think it should be optional.
no, I don't mean it as an artistic direction thing for like there shouldn't be an option. I usually turn it off. I wish it would start off by default because I think the majority of the player base turns it off or doesn't know
If
they
it's
can turn
off
it
by
off.
default, I won't probably check to see if it's there because I like to get into games fast.
Mm-hmm.
I'll set keybinds and then I'm going.
I'm usually big on checking all the menus first. Wouldn't put blur or bloom in it. Talking about things like glitch effects, cell shading, stuff like that. Would you? What would you say about the? Is the is chromatic aberration? Is that the right word? The like the.
Dude.
Is it Bloodborne that uses it to where it's kind of like fuzzy in some parts? That's art direction. You would count that as that because that's something where I'm unsure if I would have an option for that because I do see it as part of the art direction, but I'm not sure it always adds to the art in the way they think it does.
I don't like the look of this, but that's just, I mean, like if it's part of the game, dude, I don't know. I just play video games. I will say though, I can't believe people don't like motion blur. Man, I
It's
love motion blur. Oh my gosh. That's one of my favorite things. And Bloom, since we talking about it, Bloom, I talked about this more from a creative direction since I'm a video student. I was talking about this with my friends. Bloom is one of the best looking effects ever. It makes everything so much brighter around the edges and just makes everything look so much cooler. I love, love, love Bloom. Oh my
mm-hmm.
goodness.
I
Some of
I think
my
bloom is good. Lens flares I love because I think if you've got a situation where lens flares happen, usually it does add to the experience to me.
Yeah, Bloom is the garlic powder of video games. I don't think it fits in every single video game, but in a lot of them, a little bit of Bloom, and it can be optional. Like, make it optional, 100%. Unless it's like really part of the artistic direction, make it optional, just like a lot of other stuff. Um, I just think it looks so good with it on. Like,
Hmm.
it just makes so many things just look pretty. There's a part in one of the Nichijou openings where you can tell they just animated and then they just cranked the bloom up a little bit. And it just looks so good. Yeah, Celeste does use a lot of bloom.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's my favorite video game. And trust me, if Celeste had some form of motion blur, not that I think it fits, but I'd probably use it. It's one of those games where I don't think the motion blur really fits the aesthetic, but if it did have it, I might at least try it out because I like motion blur.
I
It's
don't
a
think
little bit
motion blur
easier.
usually is in 2D games.
Well, I know, but you never know. When you dash, it could like do a little bit. Like, you know how like racing games use motion blur to make you feel like you're going faster.
Yeah.
When you dash, maybe like, I don't know, the screen gets a little fuzzy. Don't ask me, man.
That's the
I
screen
wasn't.
shake. It makes everything fuzzy.
Well, that's a little bit extreme. Yeah, let's blur out the edges. Let's not shake the whole screen violently. I think there's a bit of a there could be some.
See,
Yeah,
I think the problem with the screen shake option is I wish it wasn't just on or off. I wish it was like a 100% to 0% because I
that's fair.
I do like having some screen shake to you feel the power behind the dash, but
I would
this
agree.
this game had it cranked up to
Yes, if you blurred
way
Madeline,
too
that would be
high.
a very good idea. Actually, that would be the best idea. I think I think for aesthetic purposes, it should be optional, but I think that's really good. Like, I wouldn't use that in a speed run or anything, but in like if I was doing like a video to showcase a level or something, I would 100% use blurred Madeline with the dash. That might actually be a mod. I wouldn't stray far from saying that's a mod. I want to say though is Mership. Yeah, true.
Hey,
That's actually a good
I'd do
idea.
a playthrough of it.
But yeah, I appreciate motion blur because without motion blur, sometimes things get a little intense on my eyes.
Okay.
And making it look more like real life, where you're kind of blur when you move really fast, it just makes it easier.
Honestly, that might play. I wonder if no motion blur is what kind of makes VR a bit sickening. Because like I've
Potentially.
there's a couple games I've been playing that have a lot of like me turning my head, and I'm pretty positive there's no motion blur. And those
Right,
games
and
I can
it's
only
like
play for like a short amount of time before I start feeling sick.
right, yeah. The biggest thing for me with VR is FOV, and yeah, frame pacing as well is a huge deal. But for me, it's
Hmm.
FOV. Like, I would love to play Minecraft in VR and actually play it for more than 5 minutes, but it puts you in 70 FOV, default FOV.
Ugh.
You cannot change it. You can't change it in either Vivecraft or the official one. You can't change it. Why? Why? I want to, like, because it's in VR and it's supposed to be like your three. No, my IRL, like, I can see on my sides.
Oh
Not
yeah.
I'm not in like a like in Minecraft, dude. Like, I actually every time I've played Minecraft in VR, I've been nearly like sick to my stomach, and I want to play it, but it's and I was gonna play it with a bunch of my friends. And they're like, "Come on, why don't you?" I'm like, listen. We tried it for 5 minutes. I couldn't do it. Like, it's just actually I with me already having dizziness problems.
Yeah.
Minecraft with that small of an FOV, it having performance issues time to time, which I'm not gonna fault them for as much, and yeah, possibly a lack of motion blur. It just makes it. I can't. There's just no way.
Yeah. For me, it's
So yeah.
mostly. Uh. So hold on.
I will clarify that it's been like 2 years since I've done it, so there could be an FOV mod now or something FOV based. But at the time of playing Vivecraft and the official Minecraft VR, there was not.
Oh, okay.
So
Yeah. So like
we'll
the
clarify that was a long time ago because I don't try it anymore for obvious reasons.
probably not worth going back unless you know for sure. Um.
Yes,
The
yeah, VR has to be high FPS or you will notice.
yeah. the VR game, I guess the next VR game that I want to stream, since I have streamed a VR game before, it is one where I try and avoid sprinting because that seems to mess with my eyes, and then a lot of times when turning, I'll just close my eyes because
I
it's
That's
just that
totally
intense.
fair. Yeah. If you This is one of those things where if you're turning and you're not doing it by turning in real life, which a lot of the time you don't have the space for,
Mm-hmm.
um, it makes it way harder. Listen, if I had one of those treadmill things,
Oh,
VR would
that'd
be
be
a lot
great.
because it it's weird to say this, but just the disorientation of walking without walking in real life hurts my head. Like gives me a headache, even
Yeah.
though it's not anything flashy. It's just the fact that something's VR. Yeah, exactly. It's um if I had like a full $2,000 treadmill setup with like haptic feedback and everything, I'm sure VR would be even more enjoyable and it would actually be a little bit easier since when I walk. But yeah,
Yeah, it was interesting watching uh Lude play. He did Resident Evil 7. No, he did I think it was the RE4 remake VR and played through that whole game in VR. And I know that that's like controller gameplay and the VR is more for looking around and whatnot. So I wonder how I can't remember. I remember some days it was better than others for him. I think the first day was definitely the worst, where he had to stop early.
yeah, that's fair.
Doing your thesis, learned to mimic inertial movements in VR, which reduce sickness. Okay, so just to pretty much trick your body into actually feeling how it would in that situation. Yeah, it's
That's
not like an
actually a good
automatic.
idea. That's a good idea though. This is why I mostly play Beat Saber, not only because I like rhythm games, but also just because it's the least sickening of VR games.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
had a
I
lot of
could.
problem when I played the climb. I think it's called the climb, right?
Yeah,
Um, just it's well made, but nothing is one to one with reality. And so where my hands were in the climb wasn't exactly where my hands were in real life, obviously. So
mm-hmm.
when I got out, and that was like Christmas Day or whatever, I went to eat dinner and I think I ended up dropping my fork at one point because I was so disoriented from playing for just about half an hour. Um and I couldn't like it felt like my hands weren't there. Like
I
I couldn't
I will say the second game I think was better in that because I also kind of got disoriented from the first game. The second one, instead of doing just like a general level of detail for everything, it had like I think it handled visuals better where there was a square within a decent part of the field of view that was in higher level of detail, and then the rest outside of the square was lower detail, so it kind of looked blurred. And that I assume the tracking did feel better as well. Um, but that definitely helped with me not getting disoriented in it.
right.
And those style games are definitely different where you're not moving with your feet, so it's not as
Yeah.
bad.
Trenches of jellies.
Trenches of Jellies. A lot of people's favorite level. A lot of
Is it
people's
now?
least favorite level.
Can you screen share?
Yes. I didn't know I wasn't. Um, where is it? Oh, this one. Got it?
Thank you.
All right. Yeah, there's a lot going on in this one. You got the rain, the electricity. Music is
despite
fantastic.
everything, I was gonna say, despite everything I might say about this one, dude, this is the best soundtrack in the entirety of Spring Collab, in my opinion.
Actually, hold on,
It
hold
is
on. Am I watching
so good.
at what? Okay, I'm at 720. I was like, what quality have I been watching this at? So very heavy jelly.
I don't think that way was intended, but so this took us like a long time.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, this is the hardest map in the entirety of Expert. Electric Exuberance is close, but I had a lot more trouble with this. This is just such insane levels of precision with jellies, and juggling them and figuring things out takes forever to begin with. Beautiful aesthetic. This more simple because there's a lot of open space, but and the music is just phenomenal. So
I loved this level because I'm a big lover of jellies in this game. Probably one of my favorite mechanics. However, the visual effect overload on this definitely did not make it easy. A lot of times just you throw the jelly and you're off by an inch and you have to restart a long screen. And while there is a lot of open space, there's a lot of just little things sticking out that the jelly can bump off of.
possible map.
Visually, it's awful. Yeah, so it's
No,
better.
I disagree.
In-game.
I like it better.
It's
kind of cluttered like that.
In game, it's a lot easier to see. It does not translate to video as well.
No, I actually like how I like the rain. I like when there's rain in the background.
I like it's overboard.
Yeah, I would say it's a bit rate killer. Best
Absolutely.
Song in the game. Hardest Expert. Very frustrating. Interesting conceptually, nonetheless. I personally don't care for this mechanic. So, yeah, it's good, and I'm willing to admit it's good, but I didn't have any more fun with it than that, and it's gonna go probably like right there, above Rhythm Round.
Okay. I'm gonna put this as my lowest 7 because even though I love it, I would still say Cycle Madness is better. Just because Cycle Madness is cool. Almost 3 a.m.
Everybody is up way too late, guys.
Whisper, I appreciate you hanging around.
Out.
Hope you have a good rest of your night. Or I guess, hope you have a good rest. Yeah, I don't know. Looking back at Cycle Madness, I'm just like, this was a fun level to me. Like it was a fun style of difficulty, in my opinion.
I weirdly enjoy it, despite me saying it was 5. I got very frustrated with it, and I have it so low because I don't think it did anything special. But at the same time, I look back on it as an achievement, and I'm like, I'm glad I did it. And I think especially like the first 2 rooms or so were very fun.
Yeah.
But in terms of like map design, I think a lot of people could probably make something like that, to say that, you know.
Yeah, it's definitely not the not a difficult style of gameplay to make, just because it kind of follows the just add more aspect of difficulty.
Yeah.
Next up we have
hey.
High Voltage. Another
I remember enjoying this one. I remember this one didn't take us as long as like there's some that like this, which are like remind me of things like Watertown and Thunder Temple, where they definitely were the ones that took us like a short amount of time, but they were just solid levels, and that's about it.
Yeah.
So I really like the obviously the theme here is like high up in the sky, like electricity. What is it called? It's not a voltage isn't the word I want to use, even though that's in the. What is like a site where electricity happens? Power plant? That's what it is.
Yeah.
A site where electricity happens. I couldn't think of it. And this is once again fitting of like the girders in the sky aesthetic that I enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So naturally, I have that bias. I also think the music for this is pretty good, although I think it could have been a bit more upbeat and it still would have fit.
Yeah. Yeah, it fit. It went more towards the sky aesthetic for the music rather than the electricity, I think.
Yeah, which I appreciate, but I still think some levels in the sky do it justice nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I've noticed that I'm a huge fan of traffic blocks, and obviously this has a lot of wall balances, so this is going to be one of the ones that gets a decent rating for me out of pure bias. Despite its difficulty, it was probably on the of expert, which means I probably enjoyed it more. Biased towards the aesthetic and enjoyment of the type of gameplay. Put this at a...
Yeah, there's definitely a good amount of variance with each of the mechanics, even just breaking things up with like, I mean, you could have just one wall bounce versus having like multiple chained wall bounces, or you know, I think you get a lot of variance when you start chaining things together.
Yeah. Oh, variance with gameplay mechanics is amazing. That gets a very low 8 for me. So
I'm thinking I'm gonna put it right above Watertown.
That's where mine is.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Mine is going in the 7s though. Yeah, same kind of level. It is a really good level. Not too overly difficult, so it lets you kind of enjoy what it has to offer. I remember when I was doing the sort of like test to be a tester on Strawberry Jam, one of the things I mentioned was I was able to like beat the expert level, but I wasn't able to play it in a way where I can actually pay attention to think of things that need fixing. Where this one is in that level of like, you definitely have that opportunity to like soak in the level while playing it, that some of the higher difficulty ones don't allow for.
Oh, because you're just going so fast.
Yeah, you're going so fast, or you're having to worry about so many inputs that you don't have time to look around.
Guys, he tested for an expert level, noted.
They had a like a little bit of each. They actually had like little bits of, I think, one level from each difficulty from Spring Collab. So some of them I was like, oh, I've seen this level, like I've played it. Definitely, I think that was when we were still in like intermediate lobby. Oh yeah, what's next? New Jank City.
All right, so this level's awesome.
This one was really cool.
So these blocks, when you hit into them, they bounce you back. Now he's skipping it all.
Just
which kind of sucks.
Yeah, not using the mechanic even slightly.
Wow.
That sucks.
I didn't even. It's kind of crazy that this was this cheesable.
Can you just skip the whole thing?
I'm more curious if you can skip the whole thing than I am. We'll
They
show
use it
we'll
here,
show the
right?
roll-up.
Surely they.
Oh,
There's
my
no way
goodness.
that's
There's no way that's
easier.
easier. Yeah. Now, granted, I understand why they would skip it for a run because it's in its name. New Jank City. It's the one bad thing about this mechanic. It is quite inconsistent as a human being.
It was a, yeah, it required some strict timing. There we go.
Yes, so when you hit into these, you bounce off of them like that. Like that.
It looks like they're really thinking, they're like trying to find every way, and stuff like that happens. Where you click
so
like
this is why I'm
slow.
like, you know, it got frustrating at times, but trust me when I say when you're playing it with checkpoints, this is so much fun. This was excessively fun, and it is a high level mechanic. Like, you are chaining this with wave dashes, bouncing off the wall, dash jumps, things along that nature, right? So like, the music is grooving. It's got the city custom background. Just everything about this is so cool. I absolutely loved playing this level. And it wasn't so hard that it was like, yeah, it's a borderline hard advanced map in my opinion.
Yeah.
But I mean, it being here just means it gets to be higher up because it's an easy and fun expert map with a really cool custom mechanic that, while it is in the name janky, was super fun to play regardless. Like, I do not care how janky it was. It was so fun to play.
And it honestly, like, the fact that it can mostly be skipped is kind of neat, that you have those alternate options.
Yeah. So really fun mechanic.
I'm sure it's consistent really cool if you just click the buttons the right way, but it's kind of hard.
Really fun mechanic. Really good aesthetic, fun music. Everything about it was just, I was talking about the whole time how fun it was to play that. Really in between this and Thunder Temple for what is my highest of 8. I can't give it a 9 because the mechanic is a little bit weird. If the mechanic was consistent, I think this would get a 9 and be consistently over Thunder Temple. But for this, I really have no clue, and I'm gonna put it right below.
Okay. I put it kind of mid. I say mid 8. This is probably still like high 8, considering how many are in 8. But right between Serene Skydive and Dreamy Bluffs, so my third highest for expert. Not too far off from it looks like what you put yours. Mine is about the same spot as your switchback station, maybe a little further behind. What does that leave us? One left. The final expert map, Blank Dreams. All right, another level with Dream Hypers.
Dream Hypers, normal and dark theme. I think I remember this one. This was, yes, this room. I loved this room. I'm just such a big. If you've been in the stream and hearing me talking about it the whole time, you know I love any room where you have to backtrack even through it slightly, and when you go in a circle around the whole room and you can see everything, I'm just a huge fan of that. So naturally I'm gonna like it. Definitely difficult, but once this was to the point where I think this was the one where we had learned the mechanics, so it took us a while to get it down, but once we got it down, we were absolutely gaming.
Yeah.
I know I did have it a little bit easier than you. I got it down before you did, but
yeah. But once you had mentioned that it's just like an instant, the main problem I had was the lineup, I think.
Yeah. And it's a good length for it's simple, it looks nice, the music is calming, so you're not getting frustrated, it's not too much, and I think it's the perfect way to learn the mechanic, and that's how we did it. So maybe some experience bias, but I enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah, I think it was a good introduction to it, where the other one kind of added the other level, which was the dad bod one, right? Olden Tower Ruins.
Yeah. I think it's
Was a
basically
bit
Old Tower Ruins,
excessive,
but better.
and then Thunder Temple had some, but that Thunder Temple definitely seemed like it expected you to know how by that point.
Right. So yeah, I'm gonna put this right above Olden Tower Ruins because of that. It's a great level.
I'm gonna put mine a little higher. I'm gonna put it over Dark Core. Yeah. Yeah, no, looking back at it, it's definitely something where I know I struggled with it playing through it, but I think it does a good job at what it's going for, and introduces itself in a good manner. Looks very fun. Yeah, those maps, it's like in the middle ground of being intensive on the inputs, and some pretty precise things when you're doing like the short hop stuff, but it usually keeps that short. Most of those screens weren't too bad as far as length. And all that leaves us with is the expert heart side. Neat little flower platform in a lava volcano looking place.
It's heart shaped as well, which is cool.
Oh yeah.
Whether or not that's intentional, I don't know.
Heart or berry shaped, maybe?
Yeah, maybe. Got the controller overlay for this one.
Let's go. A D-pad
I
gamer.
remember this room took me forever.
X to dash. Interesting. Using default controls.
Hurting my hand. That's not true. I think that's exactly where I have it. To be fair, I don't play like this. I remember this. I remember I was being like super scared when that happened. So this took us 3 streams to get through.
I think so.
I remember. And you a 4th.
Yes. Yeah, the final screen absolutely destroyed me. Which I think was the Electric Exuberance one. Yeah, I think
it was the last screen was the Ultra Sandwich one.
Oh, that's right. This one, oh man, the Cycle Madness
this screen
section
was
for
cool.
this. I think
I actually think I really like this.
I quite nearly sight read this room,
which is insane to me. I know I took way longer than you, but I actually enjoyed this screen a lot. This was insanely hard. This looks easy because they're doing it in one attempt. This is so hard.
I don't think that's that bad.
I died there a gazillion times. No, I died there like a gazillion times.
Yeah, that was probably my favorite section of a heart side.
Obviously, that was Watertown. Here we are with the Thunder Temple section.
Here's a neat. I want to point out this specific dream block exit of.
Oh, being below it.
Yeah, you're coming out like at the bottom of the block, and I think you're doing a dream hyper out of it, if I remember right. Out of the bottom of the block, which is just really neat. Yeah. That's just such a cool way of how the mechanics out of dream blocks work the same way regardless of where you're leaving it from, even though it doesn't seem like it'd work. Stuff like that always struggled. I always struggled with this section.
This was impossible. Dude, we looked at this like so long and we still were wrong at the end.
Yeah, we spent probably a good like 10 minutes just trying to figure out what to do in that section from the periscope. And even after like experiencing it, we still had
Dude,
to go
I
back.
love this screen. I just love dude. Ligament is so good.
It was really good, yeah.
We had a lot of trouble with that catch, I remember, and then into the hardest thing ever. I had a lot of trouble with this screen, especially because it came right out of ligament.
Throws.
I will say though, that is a lot easier than it probably looks, or at least as compared to a lot of Trenches of Jelly stuff.
This isn't GM
I remember.
Yet. Oh, sorry. Go on.
I remember looking at that and being super intimidated, and I think you and I only made it to that section maybe once or twice, and we ended up getting it after like 1 or 2 times of dying at the section. You had to do ligament right before that and carry one through from ligament. So
yeah. So this was the one heart side where the people who kind of like rated it and watched us through, they had mentioned this is pretty much GM level all through the heart side, where all the others, they were like, all the other heart sides are kind of like a capstone to that difficulty, where the expert heart side is almost more of like an introduction to GM. Which,
but you're correct. It's not GM yet, though.
Yeah, like, not technically
at an actual level yet.
Yeah, so like the heart side here and electric exuberance were both kind of like GM light. This screen,
I have a clip on this on my channel.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is the one with the clip.
Yeah, I was done with this way before you were. Because you had a lot of trouble with this section, which is fair, because this was so these reverses right here were like impossible.
I was like barely getting to that section. I think I had seen it twice when you beat it.
And this screen, when you execute it, is extremely fun because of course you're going super fast. This is a really hard set of ultras right into a really tough electric exuberance screen, which is
hitting that puffer down was hard for me. There's just so much, and then that last jump, this last boost. So not only did you have to get through this just in time to beat that yellow spike block, then you have to do a perfect right dash, because if you're holding too far to the right, then you're running into the electricity.
But then so you have to let go, right?
Yeah.
And then you need to get the extra boost off of the puffer, which if you don't know, puffers can send you normally if you hit them from the side. But if you hit them the direction you're going to go, and you're holding the direction that you're going to go when you hit them, you'll get a further boost, which means you have to tap right here, let go of it, and then re-hold it without going too far outside of the pufferfish's hitboxes, and then get hit by the pufferfish to get all of that all in one package. Right after you've just fast fallen to get barely past that yellow spike block.
Yeah. I think I had 2 deaths to not getting that puffer boost, which is so demoralizing. I think I was on that screen for another hour after you had beaten it, because you had already had to go to bed.
Yeah, I hate leaving, but I had to go to bed because I think I had something going on like the next morning.
Yeah. I do not remember that lightning being that intense.
I remember that. I remember this.
Really, heart sides are always so cool to see, to put together.
Really cool.
As far as rating though,
dude, I don't know.
I'm putting it under advanced. There was just so much in advanced that I loved, and I don't think expert had that.
It had the most creative puzzle solving in the expert because it's the hardest one. So I don't know. I really like, dude. I can't rate these. I really can't. I and on one hand, it's so hard that I'm not like it was hard to enjoy it, and it was more for the achievement, so I'm gonna put it the lowest. But then in terms of creativity and combining all the elements, I think it's at the very top because it's the most difficult, which means you have to do a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
So then I guess it just balances out. I'll just put it like below. Yeah, I'll just put it below advanced where you have it.
All right. And then on to GM. So let me.
We'll rate what we can.
Yeah, let me switch scenes to the video, and I'll switch to the GM lobby. That's the gym. Where am I? GM lobby. That's the gym. Where I can hear myself.
And you have my
Oh,
audio on.
shoot. Yeah, I had your audio on for the Celeste gameplay. There you go. You're free to watch me now.
I just want to hear it.
Shoot. Did I mess up?
But I currently don't hear it.
Turn the sound effects back on. All right, where are the other lobbies? Are they this way? There they are. All right. Switching to the GM lobby. Now I just need to find a book. The neat thing here, let me actually switch to the game too, so you can just get an idea of what you're looking at. The lobbies also get more deadly the further you go. Jim doesn't have it by it, does it? It does. Okay. So how many did we have? We finished 3 GM maps. 2 easies and a medium. Oh, we did do Crypt of the Kevins. I didn't think we did. All right. Yeah. The heck 90. We 2 hours and 20 minutes in. Yeah, looking at these times, 4:57, 2:19, 2:37. We're 2:20 and we're still on. I assume we're on the last screen. So I sure hope it is. Theo Hell, yeah, there's just naming one ultra difficult. And then Heart of the Storm. Fish Hell kind of sounds fun to me. All right, let's start. Let's start with Gem Garden. Did I switch to the? Oh, I still had desktop audio muted. Sorry, so your voice wasn't coming through either.
No. I'm pretty sure it was.
Oh, maybe it was. I don't think when I switched to the actual game that it was.
Maybe.
But yeah, let me. Didn't hear Blizzard for a bit.
You didn't hear me for a bit. Okay.
Yeah, sorry. That's just how I have this scene set up for having the game audio not play during the video.
I probably shouldn't be sitting back as far as I am, because it's also making lighter.
That too. All right, we're looking at Gem Garden. So these are all much harder than they'll make it look. Oh, this was the test level.
Oh yes, this was the one where we were like, this just seems really easy for GM, and then it ended up taking us forever because it was just weirdly precise, right?
Yeah.
Like we were like, this doesn't look that hard, and then you realize it's most of GM doesn't come from. We're past knowing the mechanic or executing the mechanic. The difficulty comes in the fact that everything is now just slightly tighter and more inconsistent.
Yeah. Yeah, and we've only done 3 GMs so far. So here's like one of those instances of just really precise things. You have to hit the Kevin, and then in this small gap, you have to find the time to climb up and get your dash back on top of the Kevin. But you only have that small sliver because the rest is covered in spikes. Same with that one.
Yeah, just really, really difficult.
I didn't know the strawberries reflect too. That's neat.
I like this screen.
Yeah, that's really neat. Having the Kevin stop the block
This screen
for
was
just a
fun
short
to
bit.
execute.
That jump was hard off the block for me. This was the thing
I don't
where
believe I had trouble with it.
yeah, you were getting to the
'Cause it was
second
an
half of the
extend.
screen, and I was still struggling with the first.
Right.
And then actually keeping the Kevin low enough was hard.
I missed that. I missed that wall bounce like a lot.
Mm-hmm. Wait, whoa. How'd they get to
Wait,
the other
what?
side?
What?
Did the screen push?
What? What?
Huh?
Okay, wow. I've never seen that before. I was also like, wait, hold on.
So I guess just it going far enough on the screen just pushed her to the other side. Interesting. This was a neat section. Multiple hits.
Yeah.
Not difficult, just neat.
Yeah, just neat.
2 paths, I guess up was a
Okay,
strawberry. Wait,
that strawberry was awesome.
yes.
This strawberry was actually one of my favorites in the entire mod.
Yeah, it was really cool finding the right feather pathing and always making sure because you always had to end up on the other side to get the other
Yes.
feather.
Yeah, out of all of the puzzle solving this game has to offer, I feel like I'm actually pretty good at feather pathing, and I always enjoyed doing it ever since 6B introduced the concept.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, very neat. Yeah, a lot of the, at least the GM stuff that we've seen, not very long when you look at it, like everything put together in like a perfect attempt. It just takes a lot to figure it out and execute. I don't think the feather you came from respawns in time, but I may be remembering that wrong.
you would have to go all the way into our stream VODs and look for GM Gem Garden because him and I almost guaranteed did a different route.
Yeah.
There's definitely more than one ways to do it. I feel like I did have a point where I, with a single feather, looped back around to the same one, if I remember correctly. So I used both of them for sure, but
Me seeing myself looking it up. Collections. Is there a way to go to all collections? I guess I could manage. That'd probably be easier. It's going to be Celeste mod playthroughs, 120 hours of VODs for
we
just
play the game a
Celeste.
little bit.
We do. All right, let's see. Expert lobby, expert heartside. Yeah, what was this?
Dude,
2,
we're doing a
3,
whole
4,
Let's Play. Part
5,
32.
5 heartside. One. You did it in 4, then I did it in 5 because that was another hour. Yeah,
Man, it took us. Wow.
So let's see. Grandmaster, I assume it was the first one. Actually, I'm gonna go to the second.
I'm pretty sure it was the first one, but the second one might have.
Yeah, the last screen. I'll open in a different tab just so I don't need to worry about that.
We're doing intense research for your question, Claydos.
Oh yeah, and it respawned you right there, so it wasn't too bad. Oh, you had gotten it first, so let's see.
No, I
Was this the
remember.
same stream? This was the same stream as the Lego. Oh no 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 no! This wasn't Lego. This was the
This
quiz.
was yeah. I remember that. I remember that. Dude, that was so much fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I got it somewhere around here.
I'm gonna.
I was waiting for a long time
Yeah, I
because of
kicked
that
it into
quiz.
2.5 times speed. Just like really trying to think of.
This is me labbing currently because you gotta remember, not only do you have to path in general, you have to path
Around the bullets too.
around the bullets. So you had to develop a pattern that would not get hit by the bullets either.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm getting closer to what I want to do.
So it looks like one of the attempts it did. Yeah, maybe if you dash up, you've got just enough time to grab that same feather. Let's kick it into
This
high
is
gear.
definitely me. Yeah, this is definitely me hard labbing.
That seems to be a good method for the first set.
Yeah, I'm clearly.
Okay, you got all of them. Now you just gotta escape. So you did a clean
He's
loop
me
around
thinking
the
about
first,
it.
and then through the center, and then you've got to do a zigzag around that.
Yeah, I remember now.
Oh,
So
okay. Now you're labbing doing the feather. No, maybe not.
I had to get a way to get the feather back, I think.
Yeah.
Or no, get back to the. Okay, that was it. I just had to do that.
See, honestly, you might be able to just do a reverse of the other one. I just don't. Yeah, like that. I don't know. I'm saying that as if I'm suggesting it to you. You should try that.
I clearly just need to.
Ooh, yeah. The hard part is getting the stun of the feather
There it
right
is.
in
That
front of.
that's what it is, though. I just needed to not get hit by battling, so I had to slightly change like the angles I was going at, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe I started labbing a completely new. Ooh, curious.
Oh, that's right, because we also need to make it up to the strawberry, and you can't
Yeah.
do it right away because if you grab the feather and just go straight up with how you're doing it, you'd still hit the spikes on the key door.
Man, you were out for a long time.
I was either
I think
talking,
that's why it took me.
yeah, I might have been talking with my brother about the workbook because I might have had it paused and just had it like on my side and trying to figure out how to capture it so we could do the quiz. All right, let's
Crazy how I had to do a fully new route though.
yeah, really had to change it up. Oh, you saw him go for the up dash and didn't make it. Oh, wait, he got it that time.
Well, this is me going back to my other. Okay, there we go. My old strat. So it was the same strategy as before, but this time instead of going to the right and grabbing the initial feather that would get killed by battling, I actually that I took just enough time to where when I came back, I was able to grab that feather and just go straight up,
Yeah.
and then I died to her.
So I guess the dash up wasn't the answer. It needed a right dash. Let's see. I did it after the test book. Oh, let's see if I'm going for the same first side. Oh, okay. I did opt for the same route. I don't know why you decided to die in the screen.
Shut up.
Just kind of loser mentality, if you ask me. Cool. So that was That was that puzzle.
That's why it took you so long, is because you were AFK for a long time. I
Yeah.
was gonna say that there's no way Gem Garden took us longer than the other ones. Anyways, we get to rank this. It's a GM map, so it's good at what it's supposed to do, but it's chapter 6, and there's not much that it does that's special. So it'll just be below Cycle Madness.
Yeah, I am probably rating it really high in a
But
6.
the strawberry is really cool.
It's a strange thing because I think it's good. I'll actually put it right here, a mid 6, because I think it was good enough for a 6. Um, Spirit Spire didn't have me too entertained, especially considering we didn't remember it going into this, and in a set of maps where it was surrounded by a lot of maps that are memorable. I think Gem Garden can sit above that. Yeah, yeah. So you've got the little, uh, kind of almost like the hover outside once you leave a feather. So you've got that slowdown, and then you fall down, and then you've got the other slowdown when you do the dash left, where if you went straight up, you don't have as much hover time because your next set is just going to be like the gravity fall. I think that's probably like the small amount of time difference. Um, but next up is Error 418, which I think this was like a glitchy level. Glitchy, like, graphic wise. Oh, okay, yeah. This one did have the jump crystals.
Oh, I remember this.
This was neat. This was downdraft,
really fun,
right?
actually. I don't remember. I remember you had a lot more trouble with the screen than I did, and that's about it. That's the only thing I remember from it. Yes. So this was a sick mechanic. This was a sick mechanic. I got a hang of it a lot quicker than you did, though.
Mm-hmm. So because you have the jump in midair crystals, you have the ability to do jump dash jumps or midair dash jumps like that, which was just so neat.
Yeah, I had a ton of fun with it. I think I also we had theorized skipping that orb. Or no, you're supposed to skip that orb. I don't know. There was a multiple different ways to do the screen. I know you and I did the screen slightly differently, I believe.
Yeah. Okay, I guess this is just saying you can do the hyper as well.
Yeah, hyper with the jump, which is probably a strawberry room. Then keeping that jump. Interesting. Don't think this is. Maybe it is how it's supposed to be. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I remember this part was a bit tough. This screen.
I don't remember it too well, but there must have been a checkpoint there, considering there was a glitchy thing.
I don't think that was a checkpoint.
This was cool.
Yeah.
This was one of those screens once again that challenged precision more than anything. I remember this took us a while to figure out, despite it being on the simpler side. It still took us a while to figure it out.
Yeah, very very neat screen, and no problem for
Honestly,
the dissection of the answer. I was honestly curious too when you mentioned it. Okay, yeah, we can move on with this map.
Air 418, cool theme. Kind of it takes I mean, it literally takes Desolate Spire's kind of gray aesthetic and uses it in a different way with a more glitchy side instead of it being like a more despair. But at the same time, it kind of has that. This to me is just a better version of Desolate Spire if you're able to obviously do it. Aesthetically, it falls a little bit short because there's more difficulty, so it has to have less space. So it can't have as much towards aesthetics, but Honestly, really cool. Probably right below Crumbling Castle, I think. Actually, no, above Crumbling Castle. I probably would have had more fun with it. And Olden Tower Ruins.
That's I was
I
I was
forget.
looking in that same area. I was like, mine's going above Olden Tower ruins.
I think it definitely sits there for me. Really cool.
Honestly, I'm gonna put it at the top of my sevens. Um, like you said, it pretty much is just a better Desolate Spire, and I think Desolate Spire for me is lower just because it was held back by being a beginner map,
Right.
where Error 18 hits that high level of what the mechanic can be used for, and for a GM map does that really well, I think. So
I'm gonna move Watertown below these two, even though I'm actually gonna move it below Air 418. I really like its aesthetic, but gameplay wise, I think these three are better. So small change.
all right, and then on to that's the wrong button. There we go. On to the last of the three. We're going to Crypt of the Kevins.
Now, if you know me, I do not like Kevin's, but I actually,
Much better theming.
surprisingly enough, this might actually be early rating my favorite Grandmaster map we have played.
Okay.
I enjoyed this way more than I should have. Despite it being difficult to figure out, every screen. So that was just the intro screen, by the way.
Yeah.
The actual thing starts now. Just so much fast movement with the Kevins, and it didn't feel like the puzzle solving was overwhelmingly difficult. You could map out everything in your head relatively well. Obviously banger music. I've heard it for a really long time, so I'm pretty used to it. I like the colors way better on this one than Temple of the Kevins.
Yes. The blue is so much easier than the red.
Yeah.
Just on the eyes.
Every screen in this I had a ton of fun doing, and I believe that what is the last screen took us a really long time and frustrated me a lot at the time, but looking back on it, it was actually super fun to execute. And it taught a really unique mechanic that at the time I think Meta and I had done the screen completely differently, or in an unintended way anyways. Yeah, so this screen we did not do exactly the intended way, but basically you could hyper off of this as it was coming up. You could wave dash off of the Kevin as it was coming up, and you could basically like fling yourself.
Like this? I think I might have beaten this one first. Either that or I was more consistent at one of the parts, but you still got it first.
I think that the second one was correct, but I'm not sure.
Because it was a thing where I was able to get consistency in some things, but all it took was for you to get that one attempt, and you were good at fluking things.
Yeah. So honestly, this is probably it's close to Error 418. I'll say that. But yeah, actually, it's probably right below Error 418. But I think this is still really good for what it is. So I'll put it right below Error 418. So not my favorite after thinking about it, but very close, very fun. Kevin's out of all the things that have Kevin's in them, it's probably the best one, and it's the highest difficulty, which is pretty ironic.
Okay. Yeah, it's something where I was definitely like hesitant when we were doing GM like the tiering. I was like, there's no way our GM maps are gonna be very high. But looking back at them now, after like how long since playing them, it definitely like those look fun.
Yeah, they're definitely the average is skewing lower for sure, like 100%. Like I haven't played all of them yet, but for me to give any of them an 8 through a 10 will be probably a stretch.
Yeah, I'm thinking 8 is probably going to be the highest.
Yeah, if I have an 8, but you know, everything. It was basically like it's basically like expert and easy kind of fall around the same ranges. Maybe expert has a slightly higher skew than easy, and then um intermediate has a higher skew than both of those, and then advanced has the highest skew.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess that is the let me just move the heart sides up so it can all fit in one screen. That's the current layout of the tier list.
Yeah, I'm trying to. This is basically everything I have in it. So I'm the only one with a 4 because Thoughtful Dreams was just a level, but and then obviously the hard sides are down there, which I will not have room to show, so I will have to do this. And now you can see it all.
You get well, move heart side above 3 and 2.
There we go.
Gives you at
And now
least
you
one
can see
zoom
my
in.
whole thing. Yeah. So there's my whole tier list.
Yeah, very fun. Wow, this took long. It's a 9
This
hour
took a
stream.
long. To be fair, it wasn't all that, but yeah,
Yeah.
this took a long time. This was probably about 6 hours worth of the stream.
Mm-hmm. Plus
I'm glad we did it
the
though.
3 hours yesterday, or were you counting that? No, that was for
I was
today.
not counting that.
Yeah, another like 3 or 4 hours added onto that. So almost like 9 to 10 hours to go through
Yeah.
these.
But it reminded me how good this collab is and how much people should play it no matter what skill level you're at in the game, because it's easily accessible and there's fun for anybody.
Yeah, especially going.
And
off
I would
of
argue
the higher
that
skew.
a lot of the easier stuff is still a lot more fun. So,
Yeah.
Just giving some for anybody who, even though they're not here, just as an up in the air mention to everybody who worked on this, who was limited to a difficulty. The person who made Heaven's Outer Space, you did the best at your job, in my opinion. The person who made Ancient Engine, you did the best at your job. Although I will say, a lot of you intermediate mappers did freaking phenomenal. The person who made Booster in Orbit, I can actually see this one, the GR 90. You are quite literally the best at your job because this is the best map in the collab. So nice job. But anybody who made an advanced map, you guys are just phenomenal at working with this level of difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
More than anything else, I think. The person who made Thunder Temple, and I'll say the New Jank City, which is also the GR 90, you guys together, I'd say, and I'll even mention Switchback Station because these are all very close. These three for me. You guys are phenomenal at your jobs, and Ligament is some of the smartest gameplay I've ever seen, and so creative and so fun to do. And then, for the time being, the person who made Arrow 418, you are the best at your job. So everybody did amazing. Collab is so fun. Everything is a 5 and higher except for one thing for me. I mean, it's so good, and over half of these maps I could never see myself making. Over probably 3/4 of these maps I could never see myself being creative and polished enough to make. But yeah,
And
just amazing work.
It's so crazy seeing some of these where, like the GR 90, did a beginner map, did an intermediate map, did an advanced map, did. I'd imagine they did an expert map. Yeah, New Jank City. Did Grandmaster map. Like, the fact that some of these people, the GR 90, Dad Bod, Busy, like, doing maps of all difficulties, that cannot be easy.
Yeah, and I will say, and this is not, like, once again, everybody did amazing, but the two people that are standing out, just right here, just by me skimming over it and what I can see, is the GR 90 and Busy.
Mm-hmm.
The GR 90 made Booster in Orbit. Busy made Flooded Waterways. The GR 90 made New Jank City. Busy made Northern Lights. The Grenadi made Chill Out Mountain.
Busy did Crypt of the Kevins.
Busy did Crypt of the Kevins. Busy did Desolate Spire. Busy did Starlit Grotto, probably on the weaker side for me. So. Yeah, and I think that's it. Point is, the Gurnani does not miss. So that's crazy. So you are doing the rest of the GM maps, right? Listen.
Well.
So the screen we're left off on.
Yeah, actually, I could probably go to it, to show the screen,
we're left off on is
So we're on the
well,
Heck 90. Any idea where the Heck 90 is in the lobby?
Nope.
We would have gone down first, right?
It's demoralizing to try and come back. To it.
Maybe it's down here. All right, let's. I'm pretty sure we would have gone down first. 1, 2. So we're in the one that. No, that's 3. We're in
your
bottom
Celeste
right.
game.
What? Oh.
Show your game.
Whoops. I thought I did.